YouTube family? Today we are going to talk about two different things that most people in this world have either dealt with or know someone who has dealt with it. So today's video is going to be titled How to Control Anxiety and Depression. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because I myself deal with both, and I think there are a bunch of things that you can do to control it, not completely erase it, but help manage it. First off, a very large, important thing to understand and know is that people do suffer from depression and anxiety, and if you know someone or you think you know someone who does have it, talk to them immediately about it. There can be various ways of talking to them about it, but approaching them first is the first thing you need to do. This is going to be coming from my standpoint and my beliefs and what I do personally. So first off, what is anxiety? Anxiety is basically having a tendency to have a little bit of fear for the unknown, basically. For instance, my anxiety is because of, I think it roots back to my family medical history, but I have anxiety of fearing for something happening to my life, like any diseases or things that can bodily harm me. Some people have major anxiety when it comes to taking tests, things that require them to have all the knowledge or a lot of burden on their shoulders, so all that stress usually turns into anxiety or some kind of anxiety disorder. The first thing that I took out and that helped me completely for anxiety specifically, and I'm going to talk about anxiety and then depression. The first thing that I did for anxiety, I noticed that I was drinking a lot of caffeine, so I took out all the caffeine for like a week, and it completely helped me out. I did see a huge difference. There was a completely different change in my my sleeping circadian rhythm, the way I would walk around during the day, the way I would think. I felt more clear in just everything that I was doing. First thing that I would do, as a recommendation, you don't have to, again, if you do drink a lot of caffeine, acknowledge it, take it out, and see if that changes anything for you. I learned in psychology that if you think about something so much, especially if it's a negative thing, it will either happen or it will show an imposition on your life. So if you think about all these bad things, especially if you have an anxiety disorder like me, in regards to medical history, but if you think about all these bad things, then it will just corrupt your brain and you'll think negatively the whole time. I think the biggest thing to take away for anxiety problems is not only knowing that you have it, but being able to tell yourself that everything's fine, you're perfectly fine, and that should help a lot of people with that specific issue in regards to, again, medical problems with anxiety. Basically, the first thing that I would do, and if I had to break it down into three things, first is watch your caffeine intake. Second thing would be stop thinking about all these bad things and telling yourself like all these things that could happen, playing out bad situations and scenarios during your daily life. And then the third thing that I would say for anxiety specifically is tell yourself good things, tell yourself that everything's fine, acknowledge everything that's good in your life, before you see the bad things. See that first and realize what you have before you go to that the dark places in your head. Another thing is depression. That is the next part of the video. Depression is a little bit more deeper, in my opinion. I think anxiety, everyone gets anxiety in some instances. It's really just high stress, but I wanted to talk about it because I did have an anxiety attack several months ago. But basically in the anxiety attack that I had, I was sweating a lot, my heartbeat was like crazy wild, and it felt like I turned into third person point of view, meaning I wasn't in my body. It seemed like loss of proprioception, and if you don't know what that is, you can look it up. It's basically what I just said. It feels like you're literally watching yourself live your life, but like from a different point of view. It's really strange. There are some interesting cases, but you should look it up. Anyways, usually what I have noticed is usually people with anxiety have either had depression in the past and then anxiety, or they've had anxiety and it's turned into depression, or people have had both at the same time for the entire time, or either or. It's strange because anxiety and depression I think are linked mentally. In my life, I had depression and it was on and off, so it was like a bipolar thing, and then now currently, since I'm in college, it turned into anxiety. I don't know if that's directly linked. Again, I employ anyone that's curious to look that up. I don't know for sure. All I know is that is how it did happen in my life. So there are a lot of major things that you could do to change your outlook on depression. Again, depression is very real, and I have to reiterate, if you do see someone that has depression, the best thing you can do is talk to them about it. Not saying like, why are you depressed? That's very blank. You could talk to them about what's going on in their life. You know what I mean? So people that don't even have it, if you see someone else that has it. So if you take away anything from this video, maybe you know someone that's depressed, then asking them or talking to them about something going on in their life could help them tremendously. A couple of huge things that I used to do when I was depressed. One of the biggest things I'm going to say is doing something that you love. If you have a lot of hobbies, then you should practice them. Usually when I was depressed, I would go do it, and then it would completely take my mind off of it. And this goes back to the anxiety thing. If you're thinking about bad things, think about some positive things. You know, you don't need to corrupt your brain with all these negative things in your life if it's not meaningful, if it's not needed there. You know, and the second thing that goes in along with the first thing that I said is learning new hobbies. Sometimes learning new things that might interest you, or you don't even know, but just trying it might interest you afterwards. But learning new things helps depression tremendously as well, because you're taking your mind off of the subject, and you're focusing on something else, not thinking about negative things. A third thing that you could do is self-meditation. It doesn't have to be meditation if you don't believe in doing that, but taking deep breaths, you know, closing your eyes and taking fast breathing in and then breathing out slowly, fast breathing in, breathing out slowly, and doing that several times. I know me and my good friend Evan Hackett, we used to do that, and it helps me out, even if I'm not depressed, but if I need some energy, it does help me out, because again, you're taking your mind off of something negative and you're focusing on nothing. Your brain is usually blank when you're doing that. You try to erase everything that's going on in the present time, and then once you're done, you open your eyes and you feel completely cleared. This one's going to be kind of an oddball for some people. I know not everyone is very social, but I'm going to say the fourth thing, and this should be the last thing, I think, in my opinion. And again, all of this is my belief. These are the things that I would do. So I hope you guys do take some advice from this, or do take something out from this video. But the fourth thing will be being very social, walking up to people and saying hi, or if you go to college, just being more outgoing, I guess. So if you're like holding the door for someone and you notice something funny happening, so like saying it to that person, not thinking it and then just walking away, actually talking to someone about it, even if it's nervous or you're awkward at first. Usually getting through those awkward stages brings you to be more social, and I found that being more social and publicly interactive, it's brought my depression down to completely nothing. Talking to people might not be something that you like, and it doesn't have to be something you like, but trying that does help a lot. This was a very basic video. Again, these were all things that I have done in the past to help me. I really do hope you take something out of this for yourself or someone you might know or love. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, like, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you know me. I love to see you guys' comments. I know you guys don't comment that much, but if you guys do comment, I will respond immediately. If you'd like, I'd even do a shout out if I could. But yeah, guys, don't forget to do that. Peace.